Welcome back to Empire. And today, gonna be checking out current rumors going on that the Cavaliers are, as of today, January 8th at 11 a.m. Central Time or 12 a.m. Um, Eastern Time. That the Cavaliers are currently trying to eye out for Tim Hardway Jr. Um, and yeah, I just want to compare because it seems like the Cavs are trying to find another floor spacer like a wing like a 3 and D wing or someone to take up the small forward spot because you know the small forward spot's always in rotation. It seems like it's either Lamar, um, it's supposed to be Dean Wade, but it's either Lamar or Isaac while Dean Wade has been out, and that's not very. It's not been very good for our offense. Um, Lamar and Isaac both produce very, very well defensively. I personally feel like Isaac Crow's the better defensive player. Like I feel like I don't know, I like him a lot more defensively. But Lamar gives a lot of good energy, and Karis LeVert is just not doesn't very sync well in the starting five because we need at least some sort of firepower coming off the bench. So that's what we leave him up to do. Um, but yeah, let's take a look at this. So apparently, Cavs have interest in Mavericks wing Tim Hardway Jr. And I'm kind of interested. I think I'll probably tell us like later. Because the Mavs are a team that want to win now because they have like Luka having a like all time great season, and I'm sure they want to be more than a first round exit team. So I don't know what their whole goal is, and I don't know what would make them want to do this trade. Because Tim Hardaway Jr. is like a pretty good option for Luka Doncic, like a reliable option for Luka Doncic. Doncic. I don't know what you want to say, but yeah. And then the other option is Pistons forward Bojan Bogdanovic. Unlike the Mavericks, the Pistons have nothing to really wish for. Bojan is really just there as a veteran. And one person they don't talk about in here, I saw is that Sadiq Bey is also currently like an interest, like so Sadiq Bey and Bojan. So let's break down these options a little bit. So to compare I'll go over Bojan's this so far. So Bojan has been very healthy this year. 41 games, averaging 21 points, 41% from the field, which is amazing. Especially something that the Cavs need, and he's overall 39% in his career, so it's pretty reliable. It's not like he's having like a above average season, and his field goal percentage 45, so he's a pretty efficient. A little bit higher on efficiency this season too, which is always good. So yeah, like I feel like he's definitely something we could have. Also an 89% free throw shooter, so he's just an elite shooter, and that's what we need. We need someone to be able to space the floor because when Isaac Okoro or Lamar Stevens is sitting in corner, 9 times out of 10 it feels like they're gonna miss the shot. And so if we have Bojan that forces a body onto him, it creates more space for Garland and Mitchell to create their offense, because that's kind of what's been the case is that stagnant is a little bit, but yeah. So yeah, let's look at this. So per game, this is his where's the season stats? Does it say? All right, 2023. So yeah, field goal attempts. Here's the thing though. He is currently on the Detroit Pistons, a very low, winning team. So I feel like his shots are a lot more up on this team than any other team. So obviously, his 21 points a game will drop down than others, but yeah, like he's pretty efficient. like overall, gets a couple free throws attempts a game, averages about 4.6 a game, and like yeah, just very 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 efficient all across the board. Um, how much threes? Yeah, he takes about 6 threes a game. Could possibly see that happening with the Cavs if he were to come here. Yeah, I would not expect 21 points a game from him. Um, like his like average like his career is 15, and that was when he was with Utah, a very solid team. So yeah, maybe he could average around like 15, 16 ish points, which added on to Mitchell's like 29 a game, Garland's 21, and um, Mobley and Allen both almost averaging double doubles. Like that's a very 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 efficient offensively. Uh, the other option is Tim Hardway Jr. Uh, a lot less efficient than him. Field goal wise, 38% and from the field, and 36% from three, and 78 in off free throw. So he's honestly like lower than him in every category, because if we go back here, Bojan averages 21, 4, and 3, and Tim Hardaway does not do that. So it would kind of be lower ball. I feel like Bojan is definitely the better option. And so yeah, overall, like yeah, and this it's not like he's having like a bad season per se. Like this is kind of his average. Like his 3-point average is normally like never really reached over 40, or like reached over. It almost was 40 in 1920, but other than that, it's been around like 3.5 ish, which is his average. And field goal percentage, he is having a low ball on three field goal percentage, but I feel like it's not the craziest thing in the world, because as you can tell, kind of has been decreasing the past 2 seasons. Went from 43 to 44 to 39 to 38. He has been in the league since 14, and he's now 30 years old, so maybe age might have to do something about it. I'm not really sure. But yeah, and then this option, I'm not a big fan of. Sadiq Bey. Yeah, as you can see, field goal percentage from three is not the good option here. Yeah, 33% is not really going to do it. I mean, it would honestly might be better than Isaac Okoro's 3-point percentage and field goal percentage as well. It's even lower than what's his name, Tim Hardway Jr. So not very reliable. And I also feel like Sadiq Bey is obviously a younger talent. He's only 23 right now, maybe, and going on to 24. So I mean, like he still has room to grow. And that's kind of like where we take the, kind of test, like his amount of threes are low, like he takes per game, are lower than it was his rookie season. His 3-point percentage is lower than it was his rookie season. So not only is he taking less attempts, but with those less attempts he's taking, he's shooting a lower percentage, which is never good. It would make sense if you were maybe taking like 8 attempts, so it was a little lower or something like that. But yeah. So like ever since the rookie season, his 3-point, like when he shot 6.6 a game, his 3-point percentage was a lot better. But last year he had a pretty solid season, averaging 16. His field goal percentage was for some reason like really good. His rookie season, but I don't know. With the more like you can see, like he took a lot more attempts per game last year, because he was like the second star, I guess, not even star, but what I mean, like second option behind Cade, and maybe just like a couple others there, but he was definitely like one of the more important people on the team at the time. But he has been relatively healthy. Like he played all 82 games last season. He's played 38 games this season, so he only missed 3 games. And he did have that clutch 3-pointer against the Warriors, which, yeah, that was kind of wild. Um, but what's kind of nice about him is that there's always room for improvement. Bojan is kind of, you get what you're expecting. Like, you already know what you expect to get. He's been in the league since 14-15, so a good little bit. Tim Hardway Jr. has been in good for a little bit, but he's a lot less of an option. What Tim Hardway and the other thing is that I honestly don't know who's taller between Bojan and Tim Hardway Jr. But yeah, Sadiq Bey is 6'7", so there is definitely a height advantage there. So I honestly feel like when it comes to these, Tim Hardaway is out of the picture. Bojan is definitely the main option, like my go-to option here. But the thing that gets confusing is what the Cavs will give up. But yeah, I have no idea what they would give up. I've heard things about getting rid of Karras, and so according to this article on the podcast, it says Fisher reported earlier this week the Cavs are in the market for a defensive-minded wing who's also an outside shooting threat. Like the ideas of Hardaway for Cleveland. You could say Hardaway has better defensive stats, is better defensively, which I understand. Especially since LeVert will probably have to be included in a hypothetical trade. And yeah, so giving up LeVert, which I'm not a big fan of, because he's our only other really scorer beside a one-on-one scorer. Raul Neto, honestly, I wouldn't say he's a one-on-one scorer, but he could definitely create some shots. He at least the past couple games, he's been phenomenal the past couple games. But yeah, LeVert will have to be included in a hypothetical trade. His salary is just because of his money. $18 million is within Hardaway's million. Is within $1 million of Hardaway's. So I'm pretty sure Hardaway's might be 19 or maybe 17 million. I don't know. Either one. The Mavs kicked the tires on LeVert before Cleveland acquired him from Indiana a year ago, according to Fisher, who also suggests that Dallas has been seeking another shot creator to complement Luka Doncic. So I mean, it would be a good trade for the Mavs to get another, shot creator. But for the Cavs, somewhat okay, efficient shooting, small forward. He is 6'5", has some length to him. He could play some defense. That's one thing. But yeah, I honestly don't know. But apparently, Fedor believes a trade center around Hardaway and LeVert would be a logical stylistic swap. Though he acknowledged that there could be some obstacles. Hardaway is under contract for 2 seasons behind this one, so the Cavs may be reluctant to make this sort of commitment before seeing how he fits. And LeVert is on an expiring deal. Both Fisher and Fedor also agreed that the Cavs may want an extra asset as opposed to making a 1-for-1 trade, which I totally agree. In order to get LeVert offensive shot creating ability, we might need someone else on the Mavs, or maybe a three-way team trade, maybe a three-way team trade with the what is it called, the Pistons. I don't know. But yeah, I see there's definitely a couple of names going around. Down here they have OG Anunoby. That would be a dream. That's definitely not going to happen though, because obviously they don't have any as it says enough ammo to land him. Jay Crowder. I guess it's an option, but it says the club is not hurt and is not interested at all. Yeah, or Terrence Ross is also not interested at all. But yeah, apparently it also states the Cavs won't make a trade just to make one. Adding that some people within the organization want to see what it looks like if Wade gets an extended shot at the starting small forward job. Wade's nine made 9 starts for the season, but has not been out since December 2nd. So I mean, yeah, there's we definitely need to see more from Wade. He has been pretty solid. Like he's at least been someone he can create space with, but yeah, I believe that there needs to be more consistency with the wing position. But yeah, we'll see what goes on. If there any is like a big update or like a big trade that happens, I will talk about it. But yeah, hope you guys did enjoy. Comment down below what y'all think. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.